Welcome to SoulWhat, a Soultopia production. Every Tuesday, Michelle and Roger Welch take a deep dive into the intriguing and proactive world of metaphysics, a world beyond our human perception. They'll talk to empaths, readers, and other guests from all walks of life to find out what's hiding under the surface, uncover the mysteries of our modern world, and reveal the answers you need to live a happy, healthier life. Now, here's your hosts, Michelle and Roger Welch.
Hey everybody, how are y'all doing this week? You'll notice I'm by myself. Michelle is taking care of a couple of things before we get ready to go to Portland next week. We're getting ready to do NEWTS, our Northwest Tarot Symposium. So, it's been kind of crazy because we still have shirts coming in and card decks, and we got all this stuff that we've been kind of getting crazy and getting it packed.
Yeah, it's busy time of year right now.
And getting those checklists, making sure we don't forget something. Because now I'm worried I'm going to forget something. There's something I feel like I'm forgetting, but I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I can't figure out what it is.
Well, I feel like that's the danger, or maybe not the danger, but it was nice whenever we had Tide here, and it was like, oh, if you left something behind, you could just run back here real quick. I mean, it was literally right down the street.
Exactly.
There, you don't really have that luxury, so you got to make sure everything's on board before it goes.
Yeah, I guess our biggest benefit, we're not going to a third world country where they don't have anything. At least we're in Portland or Clackamas, and there's Target right across the street. I know when I got there the last show, we got there. The table coverings that we had didn't work. Mm-hmm. So I had to go across, and of course, Target didn't have anything, and I ended up buying some dark gray curtains. They had a dark gray curtain with a texture. It had the little loops at the top, but you know what? It didn't matter. I just turned them the right way, and nobody knew. They all thought, oh, those are kind of cool tablecloths.
Oh, they're nice. Yeah,
you know.
So do the best you can.
You just got to make things work sometimes. You just got to figure it out and make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is coming up next week, guys. Actually, it starts on the 7th, 8th, 9th. Okay, so it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Thursday is kind of our co-creator day. Matt's going to be talking a little bit there.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm as ready. I mean, we talked a little bit about it off the air last week, and I was a little worried going in, but I think I'm feeling pretty good. Everything that I'm going to cover is well-worn territory for me, so I feel like I could probably speak off the cuff on it. So I have some notes, and I'm ready to go. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But I'm also looking forward to it being done, and I can just focus on everything else.
Yeah, at least that's done, and that's the first day, and it's there, and get it done and get it out of the way, and move on to the next one.
Yeah. But that should be a lot of fun. I don't know. Are there spots left in that thing?
There are. There are spots left into that one. I think there's probably maybe 20 spots or so left that we could still put. We could load it up. It'd just be a lot of people then. But I think we could probably still handle another 20 or so people in there with no problem. It's going to be an awesome. That's part of it is different than what they've had in the past. In the past, they had what was called a Pro Dev Day, which is adjacent to NEWTS, obviously on Monday. But people were kind of didn't want to do that. Some people didn't understand what that really was. So this is actually kind of more of a creation day. So when people want to know, oh, this is a super cool deck, I have another deck idea. I hear that a lot too. But that day is going to give you kind of some insights, whether it's a book or a card deck or even maybe something totally different, right?
Yeah.
On how to develop it, how to actually get it to market, to sell it, to, get out into the public, which is what you're talking about, is kind of getting it out, the word out too.
Yeah, like all the stuff that I'm talking about is at the very end of the process, but it no less important. But yeah, there's people that are going to be there talking about how do you go about making the thing, like going through production, which is fascinating to me. I've never done anything like that. To the legal side of it and all that. And then, finally, I'll talk a little bit about branding yourself and also promoting it within not just podcasts like you see here, but also traditional media. We'll talk a little bit about how to get yourself booked on the news. or the newspaper or radio or something like that. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people like that type of, that a lot of people have the idea they want to create this, and they have a really good. I've seen some really good concepts out there, really good concepts.
Yeah.
It's just that people don't know where to start. It's one thing to do the artwork or to write a book or whatever, but it's getting it out there into the public.
Yeah.
And making money, because ultimately you got to be able to make sure everything's getting paid for too.
Yeah, and I assume this will be. I mean, I a lot of this stuff I've seen a lot of people put decks and things of this nature up on Etsy. I think this is a little bit more in depth though than just kind of doing it yourself and putting it out there for a handful of people to buy. I mean, we're talking about stuff that ends up in stores like Soultopia and beyond, online on Amazon, things like that. So this is a lot more in depth than just, how do I get something and put it online?
Yep. And for you folks out in the Northwest, Portland, Clackamas, any of that area up there, even if you just want to come for just the one day, the Thursday, you don't have time to do the Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing, you can even come in just for the one day. I mean, that's a standalone ticket. So if you want to come in that one day, knock yourself out, come on over, check it out, and enjoy the day, and it's actually in the afternoon. I think the time is in like 2 to 8 or something like that, 3 to 8.
I don't know.
It's
I
later
should
in
probably
the day.
find that out. But
it's later in the day because there's a few people traveling,
Yeah.
like flying in the morning of.
Yeah.
So they're like flying in, and then they got like 2 or 3 hours to get from the airport, which is not that big a deal, but you get to the airport, over to the hotel, checked in, relax a second, and then come down and start up those classes.
Yeah, I'm excited. And the other thing about that day is it's not just a one-day thing. We have to absorb it all. There's going to be some follow-up. So if you do want to come, I mean, I don't know if anybody watching that has heard of it, hasn't signed up yet and is interested, but if you do, or if you are, there's going to be follow-up down the road. So you're going to be getting this kind of ongoing education as we go along and putting in a little bit of work. And I'm really looking forward to what comes out of that. I think it'll be really cool. And also what people make. And I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I'll speak for myself. Anybody that goes through that, if they have any questions, any follow-up questions, I'll make myself available, and like you can ask me whatever you want to ask me. So
that's pretty awesome.
maybe we'll get some budding podcasters out there. Let's go.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then you'll be a guest on this show at some point.
Exactly.
You'll be out there making a difference in the world and be on our show as a guest. I know that I talked to James Devine, and he was, because he's going to be there, and he's like, I don't really have a project, but I just so excited, and it's just the concept of this. I want to hear what everybody has to say.
Yeah.
And he does it. He's like, I don't have a desire to make anything, but I want to know about all the information that does come up. Because first of all, I mean, the cast for that day is amazing. I mean, you got Carrie Paris, Chris Ann Donnelly, Benabelle Wynn, Jamie Sawyer, Mia Michelle, and Matt. I mean, it's all of us, obviously. So it's going to be a pretty cool day and evening, and so that'll be a pretty nice thing. And then I will say our big show part of it is actually Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday's our keynote speakers, which is back around to Benabelle Wynn, Matt Arwin, Andrea Frederick, and Barbara Moore with Charles Harrington. So that's like an amazing day right there in itself. And I know some people listening are like, well, I can't get to the show. The reason I'm telling you all about it is we do have this Zoom option, so you can buy a ticket for all 3 days.
Yeah, and that's a really cool way to experience it. It's other than being able to see the folks in person, you're not really missing out on much if you can't make it there to watch it on Zoom. And I think that you'll get to see everything, hear everything, even ask some questions in the chat. I know when we did it at Tide, people were asking questions in chat and being able to have that interaction. So you're not missing out on much other than just not being able to be in person, which carries a little bit of extra with it. But, it's totally a valid way to do it.
Yeah. And not only is it the fact that you'll be able to you'll still have your schedule that you can see who's talking, who's not, time frames and all that, right? But you'll be able to just log into Zoom. Once you get your Zoom links, you'll be able to, we'll have different rooms, 2 different rooms. And so if you want to hear this person speak, but not this one, live, that's okay. But after the event and after the show, we'll actually send those links out to everybody, the recordings that'll be good for 30 days. So you'll have 30 days to catch up on the ones you didn't see. Or if you had one that's just amazing and blew your socks off and you want to go back and watch it again, or you want to watch it again every day for 30 days, knock yourself out, have fun. But it's a kind of the benefit of what we're doing is we're trying to create it so that we have those recordings. You can still watch them, you catch up on them. If you're watching, let's say on Saturday you got to go out, to little Johnny's football game, and you can't watch the ones in the morning, well, guess what? You watch ones in the afternoon, and then, when we send those out, you can catch up on the Saturday morning ones that you missed because of the football game.
Yeah, it's a packed schedule. You don't have to miss little Johnny.
Yeah.
And he can come watch when he's done. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. Is it the same, I assume, as it Tide, where there's a couple of different things going at the same time, and you kind of... So, you will have to make a choice if you're watching it live, but the nice thing, like Roger was saying, is you can go back afterwards and watch the one that you missed. So,
yeah. So, the thing different, Tide, we had 3 rooms.
Yeah.
And at Newt's, we'll only have 2 rooms. So, you're really only a 50-50 shot on which one you're going to hit.
Yeah. And
so
they're all going to be good, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they're amazing because we got some extremely talented people coming to speak. Extremely talented.
That starts next week. I'm sure we'll talk about this at the end as well, but I assume that also means that we probably will not be here next week because I will still be here. I'll be getting ready to travel. Y'all will be up getting all sorts of stuff ready and everything. So next week, I assume SoulWhat will be taking a little bit of a break.
Right, for actually the next 2 weeks.
I was going to ask about
the next
that
2 weeks, just because next week we'll be traveling and you'll be on your way the day off, or the day after actually. But then the following week, you would be back, but we'll be traveling the day that Tuesday because we got a few more things we got to wrap up while we're up there and get taken care of and get everything shipped back.
Yeah.
So
it's a big deal putting one on, and it's just as big of a deal taking it all down and putting it all back in the trailer and getting it ready to send back home.
And if you're in the area up there and you don't want to come in here, there is a metaphysical market and psychic fair. I was doing it. We have over 40 different vendors, not readers, just the vendors.
Yeah.
There's like 6 or 8 readers going to be there, but there's over 40 just vendors that are going to be there with all types of stuff. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, there was all sorts of cool stuff at Tide that had a similar thing, and I bought a couple things while I was there, and I would have bought a whole lot more if my wallet would have allowed me. So, I'm looking forward to perusing that as well whenever it gets all set up.
Yeah, it'd be cool. It's super cool. I mean, I was going through the list this week. I was doing the diagram for the, where everybody's sitting, right? Or, the tables. And it's like, man, it's just too many good choices of things, from jewelry. There's, be people there with the bone jewelry, too. There's people there with, like, high-end, like, silver jewelry, all types of card decks and, oracle decks and things like that. It's going to be super cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Most definitely.
I'm looking forward
so
to
tonight, guys, is our last podcast of the month. And so unless we have a guest, we usually always reserve that last Tuesday for readings.
Yep.
So we are going to do a couple of readings tonight.
And some folks that watching have gotten the message already, but in case you haven't, be on the SoulWhat page if you happen to be watching this on YouTube or even on the Soultopia Facebook page. Move on over to the SoulWhat page if you want to ask a question. And you can leave a comment. Just say, I'd like a reading. I'd like a general reading. I'd like a reading on this, that, or the other thing. And we'll get to as many as we can.
Yep. And we can talk a little bit about some of our other little stuff here. But I will start here. Let's see. All right. So the first one, which one are you watching over there?
I'm on SoulWhat.
Okay. That's the one I'm on too.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got the first one there is for Lacey.
Yes.
Lacey would love a reading. like a love reading.
Oh, there you go.
They're like a love reading.
I read it that way too. Love a reading, and then I looked at it again and I was like,
sometimes
love reading.
sometimes you get.
Is that one of the most often things you guys get readings for?
It is love.
Everybody wants love.
The love, money, career stuff is always popular. Health has been popular too, though.
Yeah.
And, since 2020, that has been. But love readings are actually a big thing for sure. So let's see, Lacey, what we come up with for you. And this deck I'm using to start with. I got several decks over here, guys. We're going to use them all tonight. We're going to figure them all out.
I see a whole stack kind of hidden behind the...
And this is my Mystic Martian deck. Okay, this is produced by Rockpool out of Australia.
That's a cool one.
Yeah, so these are super cool. Even the inside has your little green alien, your little gray inside, right?
Yeah.
So he's inside. And so this is a really cool deck we stock here. This is by Lisa Porter, published by Rockpool. So, okay, Lacey. Let's see what we got here. All right. So, hold it out there so you can kind of see it. See that card?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what it says actually on the bottom, these are oracle cards, not tarot, but Andronomans, it says autonomy, free will, manifestation. But I think what I really get from this card is about the free will manifestation side of things for your love life especially. So your love life things that are going on is actually a little bit of your own self-blocking, okay? It's like you need to figure out what exactly you want, okay? So like if you want tall, dark, and handsome, you need to be manifesting tall, dark, and handsome. But you need to be manifesting it in the way that it's already happening. It's like the person that you already have around you, it may already be there. It's just that you haven't come to a conclusion of, this is really what I'm wanting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you need to sit down and you need to basically, it's almost like we used to, in the sales industry, we used to call it the Benjamin Franklin close, just because you would do the pros and cons, what you like, what you don't like. Okay? And I think that would actually be a good way for you, Lacey, to go through it and write down what you really want out of a relationship and what you really don't want in a relationship.
Yeah.
Okay?
Have that clear picture in mind.
And that way, as you're manifesting this relationship coming to light for you, it becomes a game plan for you, and because if you don't have a clear layout of what you want, how do you know when it comes right up to you? It says, "Hi, I'm at the grocery store shopping, and how are you doing today?"
Yeah.
Because you never know when you're going to meet somebody or where you're going to be.
Yeah.
So I would sit down and take a few minutes and really, really think about it, Lacey, of what you really want, to come about.
It's interesting. I went ahead and pulled from the oblique strategies, which is what I like to look at when we do these kind of things, because they're sort of like little thought prompts, but they actually work almost like an oracle deck as well. And I interpreted this the exact same way, actually. This one says, do the last thing first. And by that, I'm thinking, what is the thing that you're hoping for, right? The last thing. Where do you want this to end up, right? And that's what Roger was talking about. When you envision when you're talking, we talked a little bit last week about manifestation and about thinking about the thing that you're trying to manifest as if it has already happened, right? So envision that perfect scenario for you. Do that last thing first. Picture that, and then work backwards from there. So I think we're kind of in line. Like maybe you need to spend a little bit more time actually, instead of, I don't know. I don't know your particular situation, but if you're looking for something, instead of just kind of blindly looking around, spend a lot of time actually thinking about what it is you're really looking for.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. So the next one I have on here is Christy wants a reading. So I think for those, this is actually this is a Rider-Waite deck, guys. It comes in a couple of sizes, right? Mm-hmm. So this is a full-size deck. These are borderless cards. These are actually published this is a Rider-Waite Spirit Tarot by La Scarborough. But I like the pocket size too. It's just that sometimes if we're reading here, it's not very easy for you guys to see it. But the pocket size is great to travel with, like to Portland, Oregon next week. So that's always
Fits
a cool
in a
one to
carry-on
say.
very nicely.
Yeah, you can throw it in your backpack. It doesn't take up a lot of room. They're not heavy, So, and you can still see the cards too if you have a little bit of, I can't quite see the card type situation. So, yeah, that's always a good one.
So this is
So-
for Christy.
This is for Christy. And, oops, let me get back over here. All right, Christy. All right, Christy. I got the Queen of Wands here. Okay. And what I get from this one, Christy, though, is actually the things around here. Okay. If you notice at the bottom, there's a little black cat. You'll also notice there's sunflower over here in the left hand. And in the right hand, she's holding the actual wand with some fresh growth off of it. The little leaves coming off, right? But what I get from this is actually, if you think about this circle of life here coming up, you got a lot of things that's been going on around you, and you need to take advantage of it. You need to start actually letting these things grow, okay? You need to start getting more into life, plain and simple, okay? And what I mean is there's little things that are happening around you. You need to take advantage of those things and actually let them grow, kind of nourish those, add some water to them, let it grow. And there you have some great ideas. You just need to turn loose and start doing them, plain and simple. Turn loose and do these ideas. Don't hold back. Stop holding back.
Chrissy, mine is pretty simple, but I think it's probably good. Again, this is coming from the Oblique Strategies. It is simply accept advice, and I like that. There's nuance there because it's not saying seek out advice. It's saying accept advice, which means to me maybe there has been someone or something that has been giving you advice. Maybe you've been ignoring it. Maybe you've been trying to find your own way on whatever it is you're thinking about. But maybe it's time to stop and say, what have I been being told about this, and what should I take a moment and just actually accept that advice? And I think yes, that's not a bad idea right now.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Someday we're going to put you in cards, though. You just need to bring one of those decks you got at home and just start coming up here.
I've got a million of them.
We know you've been practicing.
I've been looking at them.
Don't y'all want to see Matt actually pulling cards one day? Let us know. Put it in the comments that you want to see Matt pulling cards.
I don't want to miss, but I see Anna here in chat. She'd like a reading.
Does Anna want a reading?
She does.
All right, Anna. We'll give
She
you
says,
a
I'd love a reading.
All right. So, this is the deck Michelle got me last week. This is the Metaphysical Cannabis Oracle deck. There's somebody else that had this like the day after we had their show last week, and they were showing it online for this. So this is actually an Oracle deck, but it has the same amount of cards as a Tarot deck. Typically, Oracle decks have fewer cards.
Yeah, they're a little smaller, but that's a lot.
Yeah, so you got a lot of cards to shuffle through.
Those are cool. The art,
But
the art on that is really cool.
Yeah, the artwork's super cool. I mean, this thing's really decked out if you think about it. It's like even inside the box is printed. Inside the box is printed.
Yeah.
Inside the main box is all printed out.
Yeah.
See up in there? So
And
this
you don't
is
have
really
to smoke
super
to get
cool.
anything out of that. Although it might help. You never
You
know.
probably imagine that doing readings with this one, and being high at the same time.
Exactly.
All right, Anna. Let's see here. Oh, pay attention. All right, so check it out. The card on the bottom says pay attention.
Wow, that's some cool art.
Okay. So my question though to you is, what aren't you paying attention to? And I think this is the Anna that we know, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So what aren't you paying attention? Because you seem like you would be the person that pays attention to everything. And I would say she's one of those kind of like me, kind of will sit there and kind of quiet a little bit, but she's watching everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But what are you missing? Okay, so it's time for you to put those extra spider senses on, to work and start paying attention to everything around you and see what's actually starting to bloom. And you know what? Look at the card behind her head. It's not the sun. Okay, I thought at first that was the sun. It's not. It's actually light radiating from her head, from the back. It's like an idea. So maybe that's what you're missing, is you have something in your back of your head, that idea that you're not turning loose of and actually, bring into life yourself.
I think that's great. Mine, actually, yes, this is the Anna that I know and work with fairly regularly, and mine, again, coming from the Oblique Strategies, is display your talent. Anna, you and I both know you got some big stuff coming up. It is time to, yes, not only pay attention, but also don't feel bad about displaying your talent. Show you have a lot of talent. You have a lot to offer. Don't be humble in that. Display it, show it to the world, and people will respond to it. So that is good advice for you this coming week, this coming month, for forever, So I think that's, good reading for Anna.
That's good. That's good. All right. You see who's next on there is Michelle. She wants a reading.
Of course.
Yeah. So Michelle's getting a really special reading tonight. We're going to use a magical fucking journey with these.
I'm sure she'll appreciate that.
Yes, she will. So tonight for Michelle, this card right here. Look on the fucking bright side. Nobody ever ruined their eyesight by looking on the bright side. Not everything in life is fucking merry, but you can still choose to focus on the silver lining in any situation, no matter how fucking small it is. Be that bitch that sprinkles sunshine toppings on everywhere you go. And then I heard Michelle go,
I'm sure.
yeah, so it's, life, that's why I usually read with tarot cards, is because tarot cards, they actually give you the good and the bad of life, right? Mm-hmm. But sometimes it's super easy to focus out on all the negative or the bullshit and everything that we have to deal with in life. But sometimes we need to just put that in the back seat and move forward and keep focused on the things that are good and the things that are positive in our life. Because sometimes we can dwell down on the negative so much, it doesn't allow us to actually, really enjoy life.
Yeah.
So I think that's the main thing here, is that we focus on the positives that life does give us and put the other stuff behind us and let us move on.
Following on with that, I got the very simple advice: reverse. So what does that mean? Does that mean put things in reverse? I think that means to take a step back. You've got a lot of things going on right now. You may feel just weighed down with all the different stuff that is happening. Reverse, back up a little bit, take a breath and take it all in, like Roger was saying. Look on the bright side. Reverse also meaning, if you think about taking a step back and getting a wider view on things, take a little bit of a step back from everything and say, all right, let's look at everything as a whole. I've got this all under control. I'm good. So reverse, back out a little bit, quit, maybe take a moment to not just keep feeling like you have to keep barreling forward. Put it in reverse, take a step back, take a big look at everything, find the bright side, and then put it back in drive and keep going.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
All right, so the next one I saw asking up there was actually Kathy. Oops.
Yes.
I believe that is right. So for Kathy, I'm going to use them. This is my other little pocket deck I like. This is actually the Witch's Tarot, okay? Witch's Tarot Mini. This is one of my favorites because it has a witchy vibe to the cards, but they also have a very much Rider-Waite-Smith vibe to the card. These are by Ellen Dugan, and these are Llewellyn cards. So same as publisher as Spirits Unveiled and The Magic of Connection. Mm-hmm. And these are brand new cards. I've only used them like twice. So you can tell they're real stiff a little bit.
I was going to say those small ones probably tend to get away from you too. They're a little harder
especially since they're new, and I really haven't used them a lot. Mm-hmm. So Kathy. All right, Kathy. I got the Karma card. Okay, it's the Karma card. So, karma is that what goes around comes around type things. But what I really like is the fact that even though this is a dark card, you have a bright light coming from around the moon. It's an eclipse. Yeah, it looks like an eclipse because you have the moon blocking out the sun during the day. And so I think what it is really with you is you have so many things happening too, is that these things, it's not that they're dark, it's the fact of finding the nice balance between the dark side, light side. Okay, kind of that shadow side of things. When sometimes people talk about shadow sides and whatnot. So I think for you, Kathy, is it's really that embracing of your shadow self. Okay, and I think it's time to actually start doing more of that, and really embracing the shadow side and the light side together, and let them work together for you.
Okay, I want to make sure we're still up on Facebook here. Did you see the?
It paused, and then it still says pause, but I'm not sure. It said it should resume shortly.
Okay, that's interesting. Looks like it's trying to connect here. Folks, we're dealing with a little technical stuff here, so I hope that we get back going on here. I'm going to try to restart that. I don't know why that would change there.
Crazy, crazy.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, if Kathy is still there, I'll go ahead and give you or maybe jumped over to the YouTube page. We are still live over there. I can tell. So I got feed the recording back out of the medium. Now, I should probably talk a little bit about the history of the oblique strategies. I forget who it was developed by, but it was used quite often by a lot of creatives who were having, writer's block of sort. David Bowie used it. A lot of different people from that era used it to kind of help generate their creative juices. And so when I think about what it's trying to say here, feed the recording back out of the medium. I mean, part of that means the medium being what it's in right now. So think about how you've maybe been taking in information or look back, maybe pull it out and look at it in a different light. Put it into something different. Maybe talk to somebody about it, especially if it's been something in your head. This might be time to share with someone and look at it from another perspective. So that's what I'm pulling out of that one for you. I'm going to try and see if we can get Facebook back up and running here.
Then I'll move on. I see Angela there is going on a trip to Jefferson, Texas, and wants to know, will I find what I'm looking for? Was going to Jefferson, maybe do a little paranormal.
Are you looking for Bigfoot or are you looking for ghosts? Yeah,
Ghosts or Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Which one are you
what
looking for? I'm kind of curious now myself.
Mm-hmm.
So will you find what you're looking for out there? All right, Angela, let's take a look here and see what we come up with. Uh-oh. I would have to say yes. Now, I think it's what, this card here, it says soulmates, romance, soulmates, empathy. But, I get a really good because they're like embracing each other in this card, right? So I think with what you're looking for, you will find it. I think it's what you're led by with your heart, okay? So I think you will come up with what you're looking for there. Now, just like the other reading, we're talking about be very specific on what you're looking for. So you want to make sure what you're looking for is really what you're looking for. Okay, so be very detailed in those, in that, and make sure that it actually is coming up.
Okay, for folks still with us here, I'm going to try to get us back up on Facebook. This might be a brand new instance here.
Yeah, it just says interrupted.
That's very strange. Yeah, we chirped out a little bit there.
And let's see. Uh-oh. I don't know if it's still there.
Nope. Okay, I'm going to try to fix this. Do you guys got anything coming up on Soultopia this week that we can chat about?
Actually, we do. So this weekend is the first Sunday Soultopia Psychic Fair. So all locations, we'll have readers and healers. All sessions are 20-minute sessions for $25. Sometimes when you like, I've maybe you've had a reading or two. Well, these readings are really geared to a couple of things. One, if you just got a real kind of quick question you're looking for an answer for, maybe a question or two is really good for that, because you can go in, you have 20 minutes to sit down, get a reading. You can ask a question if you just want a cold reading where they just pull in cards like we're doing tonight, or if you want to ask a question. It's a great opportunity to be able to do that. The second thing is let's say you maybe in the past you've had a reading or two, maybe you weren't so sure, you don't even know who to go to. You can go and try out a couple of people, okay? I would love to say, yeah, every reader in the world is great, but sometimes you just don't connect to readers. And so you got to keep that in mind. If you don't connect to a reader, that's okay. There are other readers out there you will connect to. So you need to take the time out and go and visit a couple of different readers and see who you really connect to. Because let's say you really connect to Kathy or Mary or Robert or any of them, right? Well, you go get a 20-minute reading today. Well, in a month or two, something life-changing comes into play and you need a little bit longer reading than 20 minutes. Well, guess what? You can come back to Soultopia and you can book these people for 30 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, even 15 minutes if you just need to do a quick one, that's not on one of the Psychic Fair days. So that makes it really cool. And that's on the, or if you want a healing, that's my favorite. Come in, get a healing, get a reading, you're feeling all good, go grab some dinner, chill for the afternoon,
Yeah, that's a very cool. I've done it before. It's a really cool way, especially if it's if you've never had a reading before and you're kind of unsure about it. It's a really cool way to come check it out and see what it's like. And then if you like it, go a little bit more in depth later on. Yep. We are back up on Facebook, by the way. It's a different event, but we got it back up. I'll have to look back into what happened there. I think it just lost connection, and Facebook doesn't do a very good job of reconnecting once it does. So we are back up now, though.
Facebook's been all weird. They did an update. I don't know if you guys have noticed that or not, but Facebook did a freaking update, and it's like everything's kind of crazy now. Mm-hmm. It's just not very well put together, it doesn't seem like.
Yeah. So anybody that was in there after Kathy, that was the last one that we did a reading for?
We did Kathy, and then I was talking to Angela, going to Jefferson.
Oh, right. So that's where we were. Anybody that was after that, if you've gotten to tune back in with us, jump back on, leave your comment, and yeah.
Which page are you on? Are you on the SoulWhat page?
I'm on the SoulWhat page.
Okay.
Lacey says Mercury retrograde. I'm going to have to assume that's what's going on here.
Yeah, when we got till I think it's October the 2nd. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's October the 2nd. We have until that's over with.
We almost made it without trouble, but
it's weird. It shows it on this page. I don't think it's updated. The craziest thing, guys. Totally crazy.
Does it show the old one there?
Yeah, it still shows the old one. And, I don't know. They need to get a better update into, because like I said, there's been a lot of weird things with, like some of our pages even, like I could post in, but Michelle couldn't post in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that they did a big change to the way some of those brand pages work that we use for both SoulWhat and Soultopia and everybody else that uses a page like that. And I think it's made it a lot more confusing about where you have to go to post things and where things end up and things like that. So I don't know if that's part of this, or if this was. I think this was probably just more of a technical issue, but it is harder to navigate now than it used to be. I don't know why you make an update and then it becomes harder. I don't know what you fixed by doing that.
I know. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was Amber, the last one we got there. So you'll have to re-comment because we can't see the comments in there, just so you guys know.
Yeah. But yeah, who was it going to Jefferson? I love Jefferson,
Amber.
by the way.
Oh yeah,
Jefferson's such a cool town. That's where they have the Bigfoot conference. I don't know if that's what you're looking for.
There's a paranormal conference. I think it's November. It's in November, like the first week of November or something like that.
Yeah,
First
very. Actually, I mean, we may have talked about it on here, but Jefferson has a very cool history. If you actually look into it, it was right on the river that runs through there was the main shipping channel before the railroads, and so Jefferson was bigger than Dallas at one point. It was like the heart of shipping for this area of the country. anything coming out of New Orleans came to Jefferson. So once the railroads came through, that all got shut off. But you still have a lot of really cool history there.
Yep.
A lot of very old buildings, a lot of ghosts, and that's Bigfoot country too.
She's going ghost busting.
Well, you'll find them there if that's what you're looking for.
Definitely so. I've been there a couple of times too. Some of the conferences there, and hung out. Dakota and I, Dakota wanted us to come out, and we did, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We did a lot of things, saw a lot of things. Ghosts too. Yeah.
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 That's where I'd like to take my drone, because there's a very cool old railroad bridge there, and some other stuff just flying down through the river and stuff, and around those old buildings.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, that'd be fun
Yeah.
for sure. The let's see here. We got another one here. So Kelly, let's see. A couple of obstacles have come into my life in the last 2 weeks. This is preventing me from moving forward. Will there be a change soon, or will this take some time? Okay, so these obstacles, are we getting the obstacles out of the way? All right, so let's see what comes up here for you, Kelly.
What is that you got there?
This is my larger, the Radiant Wise Spirit, which is the larger borderless. So the one thing is I actually had pulled 2 cards, Kelly, but the first card, okay, notice this is actually him standing here with the wands, right? So, it's he's even got his head wrapped up, okay? Kind of like, he's been fighting it all up, right? But, wands and everything, it's been very kind of like a very emotional thing for you. It's just, you feel like almost beaten down, but you're still standing, okay? That's the thing. You feel kind of beaten up, but you're still standing. But the second card that popped out is actually, this is actually the 6 of Cups, okay? Look, the cups have flowers in them. The cups have flowers. You have like the kids here, with the flowers in the cups, right? So, yeah, things are going to get better. What you'll see, though, is actually, it's that kind of that feel of things around you taking a younger feel, though, okay? Like a younger feel, kind of like when you're a kid type thing. It's almost sets you back to a nice little reset, even though right now you feel beaten and battered. But when you come on the other side, it's actually giving you a more positive outlook with everything. Okay?
Cool. I like that. Along those same lines, Kelly, let me pull it up here. This is what I got for you. And again, these just are, it's a stack of cards basically that's in the phone. They come out at random. This says, use an old idea. So yeah, maybe go back to if you're looking at these obstacles and you're, maybe think back to how would you have solved this when you were younger, or maybe when you were in a different situation. Are you forgetting something that you knew in your past that might help you here? So think back to maybe when you faced something similar and how you got through it. And even if that doesn't necessarily give you the solution, it might just give you the strength to know that I can get through this. So yeah, use an old idea, think back to when you were younger, get back to your younger self, and use that as inspiration to move forward.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Cool.
I saw somebody here says, because of our little outage, 9 planets in retrograde right now. Something crazy. Yeah, there's like 6 or 9 planets in retrograde.
I think that's all of them, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like everything's going crazy all around. Did you go out last night and look at it was Venus, right?
Oh, I didn't. No.
So I did. I went out, I looked, and you could. It was like I had to, because I wasn't 100% sure. But so there's an app. What's it called? Sky Tracker. I think it's called Sky Tracker, guys. But there's an app. There's several of them out there. You can put them on your phone, your iPads, whatever, and you can just take your iPad or phone and you hold it up into the sky, and you can move it, and it shows you what planets, zodiac stars, or anything like that.
Yeah, it's
right?
really cool. I think I've got one called Night Sky that does that.
That's the other
same kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so I had to do that. I had to kind of cheat to make sure. I was like, well, that one's really bright up there. That over there is an airport or an airplane going to the airport. That's got to be it. And so I got my iPad out and just to double check, and it was. So then I thought, well, you know what? I should get my telescope out. But the little end to the telescope where the little lenses go in was missing.
Oh.
I've used this telescope probably a handful of times, and I don't know where the hell it went to. It's like the little end that you put the lenses in was totally gone, so I didn't get to use my telescope.
That's too bad. Yeah, Venus. If anybody has, Venus is really easy to find. A lot of nights.
Yeah,
it's like, especially if you're in the city, it's like, is there a star that you can see? Well, it's probably Venus.
Yeah,
it's just super, super bright.
Yeah.
Did you see this asteroid thing that they did? Where they hit an asteroid to change its course.
Yeah,
That's
and they
wild.
said it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, what's the movie? The Bruce Willis movie?
Armageddon.
Armageddon. Yeah. Armageddon. There it is. They proved it'll work.
That's awesome.
Next time they'll actually be mining just like on Armageddon.
Yeah, exactly.
Up on the, we'll dig out some gold out of this one.
Shoot it back home before we send it on its way.
Send it back to Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, let's see here. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm seeing ever. And Saturn got hit by a moon and is tilting. I haven't heard that one. Did you hear that?
I hadn't heard that.
I hadn't heard that. I wonder if it just happened.
Sounds very interesting.
Yeah, because I know that, like, what's his name? Tyson. I was watching one of his videos a couple of days ago, and you would think like the Earth and the Moon is like a very smooth rotation. They actually wobble. So if you think about it, I guess, and he said like all planets, with moons, because a lot of planets have moons and more than one, but it wobbles around.
Yeah.
The Earth wobbles, the Moon wobbles, and it all wobbles around the, sun, and even our sun and everything kind of wobbles around the galaxy.
Yeah, it's all going. And have you seen those animations of like what they think it looks like of the solar system actually moving through the galaxy?
Yeah.
It's just like it's like a trail of stuff. Like
yeah.
I don't know. It's really cool looking when they visualize that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's super. I was trying to figure out a way to maybe entice him into coming onto the show. I was like, how do we get him on and to get him talking about something? There's got to be a way.
There's got to be a way.
I think we kind of, because I see him on all types of podcasts and interviews and all.
Yeah.
Surely we could talk him into coming on here.
Find a way to get to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if I can pull up I don't know if the folks from the other instance of the video are with us right now. If you are, again, leave a comment for us. If not, I'm not seeing anything new here, although we are coming up on time.
Yeah. So, I can't even see, for some reason now, what's crazy, before I could see how many people were actually watching us live. And it doesn't even show that now. I'm telling you, there's something up with Facebook.
There is something up with Facebook.
I saw he was in trouble anyway with the, whatchamacallit, with the, he was at the Senate speaking.
Oh, yeah, I haven't kept up with that. So I need to, I don't know.
Here we go. Hollis would love a reading too. I looked over on the Soultopia page.
Okay.
So Hollis would love a reading.
Cool.
And it looks like it says I would love a reading if possible. So there's no extra questions in there that I see.
I can't even find the previous live video.
I know.
Yeah,
it totally disappeared too.
Something weird is going on.
I think you can take the recording from the YouTube. The YouTube never went down, right?
Right. Yeah, no, the YouTube never went down. And I've got it all recorded here. So maybe what we'll have to do is just upload that to Facebook whenever we're done here.
That would be super easy to do but then we couldn't actually see you people out there, and you couldn't see us and ask us questions. This is much more fun, interacting with everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. All right, Hollis, let's see what we come up with for you. And I'm actually going back to the Metaphysical Cannabis deck. Unconditional Love. This is kind of cool, though. Look, it's a flower, but it's a heart. And it's an anatomically correct heart, looks like.
Yeah.
So, but it's like kind of parts are falling off, okay? So, it's, to me, and because it does say unconditional love, but I think it's unconditional love is for yourself. I mean, are you taking care of your own heart? Do you have some things around you maybe that's like kind of breaking your heart, you know? Is it, you know, and I'm not saying, oh, well, you know, it's your significant other. It could be, you know, your work. It could be, you know, maybe a kid, you know, something, who knows, anything, right? But it still feels like something is kind of breaking your heart. You're just like upset about it. You just don't feel like it's going the way you want it to. But focus on yourself. And this is a time for you to get back into a little bit of self-care and taking care of yourself, okay? We can't control everything out there. We just can't. And this is one of those situations you cannot control, but what you can control is how you feel about it, but also how you react to it. So don't overreact. So before you do react, take a few minutes and step back and really think through the process of how the reactions and the outcomes are, but take time for yourself to reflect on yourself and to help grow your own self.
I like that. And yeah, along those similar lines, especially the part about if there is some self-love that is absent right now, I got try faking it. And I think to me that also plays into that manifestation idea of fake it till you make it. Imagine the thing, imagine yourself in a better position, and then you will start to move towards that. This idea of, you know, getting in the mirror and saying positive things about yourself can help that to become true. Smile more, even if you feel like you're forcing it. Little things like that maybe you have done in the past and aren't doing now or have never tried. I think it's probably maybe a good time to try to employ some of that. And it really does work. You know, it's not necessarily, I don't like the idea of saying faking it, but it's more the idea of trying to force yourself into that mindset, even though you may feel like you don't have a reason to be in that mindset right now. But once you do, it'll come a lot more naturally as you go.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. All right. So I don't have anybody more on the Soultopia page. Did you have anybody else on the SoulWhat page?
Nobody on the SoulWhat page. It looks like, yeah. So okay. Yeah, sorry about any technical stuff tonight. Again, Facebook's being weird, but like we said, about the entire solar system, I guess, is in retrograde right now, so that could be part of it. But hey, I mean, we're coming up on time anyway.
Yeah. So I think what we do is we just wrap up with our 1-2 readings for the week.
Sure.
All right. You want to do ones or twos?
I'll take ones.
All right. So Matt's going to do readings for all you number ones out there this week, and I'll do the readings for number twos. Go ahead, Matt.
All right, number ones. Anybody that picked number ones, this is good advice for really anybody, but I'm saying number ones, you need it probably more than others, maybe more than the twos. That is, take a break. Take a break this week. Take a breath. Take a step back, like we've talked a little bit about earlier. Just take a break and be definite about it. Like, you know, make a point to actually say, I'm going to stop. I am going to do something that it feels relaxing to you, whether that is go sit outside with a cup of coffee, do meditation, read, go sit in the bath for an hour, whatever it is. But be mindful and be deliberate. I think that was the word that I was looking for, about taking a break, not just I'm going to sit in my car for 5 minutes before I go in the house, which we've all done that. But be a little bit more mindful about actually putting some time aside for yourself.
There you go. All right. So this one, I've used the affirmation cards, and it's a little alien. We were talking about all the planets, guys. Okay, there's a little astronaut on here, right? And it says, "You are pretty as fuck. Sending your selfies to NASA because you are a fucking star, baby." So you know what? This week, remember, most important person is yourself, and to take care of yourself. Okay, this is just a reminder, you know, our own selves, being true to ourselves, taking care of ourselves, pamper ourselves. This is the time. Go out there, get the massage, get your nails, get whatever, get your hair done, whatever you want to go do. Take care, take a few minutes, and really, you know, make yourself feel better.
Yeah.
Okay?
I like it.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs that right now.
Definitely so.
Yeah.
All right, so remember, Next week and the following week, we won't be around because we'll be at Newt's. We'll be up in Portland at the Northwest Tarot Symposium. If y'all are out there and you do want to actually, we were talking about the Zoom tickets, and if you do want to get a Zoom ticket, it's not too late. You can order all the way up until probably Thursday. You can even order after, but if you really want to actually be kind of part of the live presentation of it, you can get all the way up to Thursday of the 6th. That's right, 7th, 6th, the 6th.
6th,
the 6th. And you could still get you'll get the email back with the Zoom links to be able to jump into the classes and watch everything. So you can buy those tickets on the website. It's nwtarotsymposium.com. Okay, nwtarotsymposium.com. Just click on the ticket page, scroll down, you'll see it says Zoom links. And it's for all 3 days, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday is what you're buying. It's $300. And you can actually come and go into the classes as you want, but you'll also get those recordings and be able to watch them after. So you'll have 30 days to watch them. So it'll be a lot of fun. You can, interact with it. You get to actually see it. You'll get to join the group on Facebook. We have the Northwest Tarot Symposium group on Facebook. Join that and just check it out. You'll see all the people posting their pictures, and then plan next year on coming and join us. Okay. I emailed them this week. We're also looking at Tide, which is the International Divination event here in Dallas. And I talked to them, yesterday, and they're looking at a couple of dates for us to be able to do that in the springtime.
Nice.
You ready to do that again?
I'm always ready.
All right.
Same place?
That's what we're talking about.
Okay.
Yes. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah, we're trying to figure out the dates and make sure everything works around everybody else's schedule too.
Yeah.
So
cool.
It'll be a lot of fun too. We had a blast.
Yeah. A couple of cool events.
Lacey's sad because she's 2 weeks without us. Just follow us on Facebook because we'll be on there interacting a lot too because of the show.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we haven't really talked about it, but we'll have access to the Facebook page, so maybe we'll post a picture or something like that.
Some videos and pictures. And y'all join. Seriously, join the group and that Newt's group too, and you'll see all types of people on there. And let us know who your favorites are. Yeah. I know it's me, but
or me.
Yeah, or Matt. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, y'all have a great rest of the week. We'll see you in 2 weeks, and we thank you a lot. And have a great week. Thanks, guys. See you. Good night.
Thanks for listening to SoulWhat, a Soultopia production. If you're intrigued, searching, or looking to schedule a reading of your very own, visit us in sunny Dallas, Texas, or visit us online at facebook.com/Soultopia Holistic Boutique. And if you like what you heard, subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcasting platform to be the first to hear new episodes every Tuesday at 7:30 Central.